Nick.
Maybe.
Yes.
What's your topic?
This came from Twitter.
Of course.
And I forgot to pull up the person.
Why do you do this every time?
Find it in a second, but...
You want me to fill time?
Yeah, go ahead and fill some time real quick.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching this or downloading it. Remember, if you want to download the entire show days in advance, you can go every Friday to GameOverGreggy.bandcamp.com. For $1, you get the full MP3, the entire show. We thank you so much for your support. If you say, fuck that, you don't deserve our support, we're totally cool with that as well. Go over to YouTube.com/GameOverGreggy. Monday through Friday, we post it topic by topic. I guess when we have 5, we'll actually start on Sunday this time, right? Is that how we do it now?
Sunday.
Yeah, so we'll start Sundays when we have 5 topics, and then the whole show goes live on Friday. But then again, you just go buy the MP3 of the next show that day as well. Go to districtlines.com/GameOverGreggy. Buy the Oreogasm shirt I'm wearing. Sean Finnegan like hiking. There's probably like one Portillo shirt left. Maybe.
There's exactly one left.
In triple XL. That
Okay,
you
I
all
found it.
demanded, so go fucking buy it, Team Fat.
Limited edition.
Hey, I wore a triple XL shirt last night and this morning. I like triple XL shirts. They're like...
Cozy.
You got some explaining to do. Who's got a shirt? You just buy triple XL shirts?
Oh, no, I got it free from work, but...
Oh, okay.
It's a
Of
good,
course
it's a
you
good
did. The
sleep
gaming
shirt.
industry is rife with fucking XL shirts.
Team Fat.
So my topic today comes from Twitter. And remember, if you have a good topic, please tweet it at me, Nick_Scarpino. Not the other one, because he hates your topics. But
I'd love to talk to him about it.
We need to have him as a
Wait,
guest on the
there's
show.
two?
So
There's Nick
before-
Scarpino and then Nick_Scarpino.
Right. So before I decided that I was going to be on air, I was like, I don't really care about social networks, things like that. Like I didn't get Facebook, barely got a YouTube channel, which is amazing. But I didn't get Twitter, and some other guy named Nick Scarpino it's at Nick Scarpino, which is amazing, which Tim Gettys says to this day he will not let go. He says it's the biggest mistake I've ever made in my life.
It is.
Getting that. Because the underscore kills it. But this guy's probably gotten he has to have gotten 500 or 1,000 followers because of me.
Yeah.
At this point.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Like
And
this guy,
So they
better
think
looking
that
than I
he's
am.
you.
Yeah, they think he's me, and he's better looking than me, and he's taller than me.
and he works at Google.
And he works at Google, so he makes more money than I do. He's basically the better version of me.
Yeah, it's awesome. He
He's
did a
the
TED
child
Talk.
my mom
He
always
did a TED
wanted.
Talk?
He did a
I didn't
TED
know
Talk.
that. What was it about?
Being better than this guy.
Getting to social media before your other people?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Anyway, long story short, please follow me at Nick_Scarpino and tweet me questions if you have any topics for the show. Like at JGC404 says...
Rolls off the tongue.
It really does. If you could instantly greenlight any movie without limits, what would it be? New IP, sequel, remake? Question mark. So Tim, I'm going to give you $200 million.
Oh my god.
You can make whatever movie you want to make.
Well, so here's the thing. So I get to make the movie.
You get to make the movie.
Can I hire people to make the movie?
Yeah, you got $200 million. I hope.
Oh, I
you're
guess
not
it's
gonna
true.
just-
Yeah, so we could have someone else do it or me do it. If it's me doing it, I mean, because someone else is now doing this, and I am so excited. But
Right.
Power Rangers.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
This reboot is going to be the best thing ever.
Is it?
Oh, it is.
This is what you said about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, remember?
That's not what I said about that.
Yeah.
No.
You said, no way Michael Bay can fuck this up. And then it came out with
This
Nostro.
movie, I'm excited for this.
I'm excited for it,
I think it's
too.
going to be good. Like, it's... People are hating, and they do look stupid. I wish they didn't have the noses, but, like, whatever. It's gonna be a fun movie.
Okay.
But Power Rangers. Oh, I've dreamed about this so long. I just want, like, a more mature, more for my generation of where I'm at in my life now. So not mature. But whatever I am right now, that's what I want.
Yeah.
I want that big budget. I want it to feel like Transformers. The looks-wise and stuff, not story. Please, God, not story.
Effects-wise and stuff.
But yeah, like effects and just like the idea of like, I mean, in the best world, I'd want like a Dark Knight-esque Power Rangers. We're not gonna get that.
No, you're not going to get anywhere
dark,
close to that.
gritty story
There's no
about
one
Or
over...
like-
Green Ranger.
Who does Power Rangers? Who's the studio?
Saban.
Yeah,
Is it
that's it. Saban.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
it.
there's no one over at Saban that's like, guys, let's get Nolan. Let's get Nolan and Goyer, and let's go after
That'd be
this
awesome if
thing.
they did, though.
Nah.
They're not going to do that, though.
But I mean, yeah, that's what I would want. I would want to make that. It sounds like they're doing that, and that's exciting as hell.
that was
Would
the
you,
table.
would you have a Power Ranger with really good boobs?
I,
Just have like
Yes.
a low cut, change their outfits.
No,
and
don't
have
change
one.
their outfit. Don't
change it.
stink
no,
to that.
no. Yeah, I don't
Come
want,
on, Tim, just keep it clean.
No, I
but
don't
Tim,
want the-
in your brain with the. It's an interesting question though, because what do the uniforms look like in Power Rangers? Right? Are you going to go X-Men?
So, okay,
like
so
X2
I'm-
where they're just in full leather.
I've thought about this a
Yeah.
lot. I want the whole team. I want them to not all have the same outfit like they always do.
Right.
I want it to just be the colors, very similar style, but kind of like how Ninja Turtles in this Michael Bay one did it, where they like gave them like things that are unique to their character.
Like one
I want
has like a shoulder
like,
pad
I
or
want
something.
the Black Ranger to have a cape. Like and be
A
like
cape?
the kind of capey guy. Yeah, like a big, like a badass cape, not like,
Like a Batman?
superhero cape.
Why does he need a cape?
Like
the cape's going to get in the way of his
Yeah.
taekwondo.
Who gives a shit? He's the Black Ranger. He can like deal with it.
All right, cool.
And then like the Pink Ranger can keep a little skirt thing because that was kind of cool.
tennis skirt?
I want the yellow one to be more sleek and like I envision it that she's kind of like the ninja one.
Mm-hmm. Shouldn't
So
the black
very-
one be the ninja one? Though?
Yeah.
And the yellow one be the tennis skirt one.
No, because I and then I want the red one to be like the Yeah, I'm the leader. So that he's,
I mean, you know what
looks
they're
like the leader.
You know what they're gonna do though. They're gonna have like they're gonna go X-Men where it's like hardcore leather armored looking things with just like touches of the colors in it.
No.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
they're gonna
fuck
do that.
because the Power Ranger movie, like the Power Ranger show, it was just spandex.
Yeah.
And then the Power Ranger movie, they looked fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I want that costume so bad. Like,
I'm gonna get it for you.
do you know what I'm talking about? Do you remember how they?
I
looked?
don't
I don't
remember
remember the movie at all.
Oh, the Power Ranger movie costumes were like, that's what they.
What
should
were
do.
they? You
should
describe them.
They were just like non-spandex versions. Of,
Oh, okay.
They were like armored, right?
Yeah.
Like they had actual built-out chest piece
Yeah.
armors. Yeah. But they still had spandex underneath. But they just had like a badass
Yeah.
They had like
Overlay.
the football overlay.
I don't know if they
thing.
even had spandex underneath. It looked like
I'm
it was
on
all
the internet.
kinda,
Yeah, let's
Usually
look
we're like
this
Under
up.
Armour or something like that underneath it.
but it looked.
as doing
baller.
it as
Yeah.
a costumer.
So that's what I want.
All right. I like that. Kara, what about you?
I would make a, let's see, a reunion of all the Disney princesses coming together for some.
You're just doing this
No.
for him.
She doesn't even know about this.
Well, thanks for
my
watching our
weird
show.
infatuation with the Disney princesses.
Tim has an insane infatuation with
I
Disney
have
princesses.
like 5 Disney princesses posters in my room at my house.
Well, no
in my
wonder you
parents'
two are
house.
together, psychos.
So I think
That
that
would
would
be
be
amazing.
really
Oh, I
crazy.
see it, okay.
Like, would
Okay.
they all be bitches to each other, or would they all get along?
That's the thing. So it's like the Super Smash Bros. Of Disney princesses. I'm in this.
Yeah.
I'm definitely in this.
Yeah.
But what would you want it to be? Like, do they need to team up to take down
Maleficent
Ganondorf.
or someone
I
big,
like
yeah.
that. Ganondorf.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, well, that and all of the villains from all of the different Disney movies, and they all basically have to
the costume.
get
Like,
together.
think
all
about
of
it
the
like-
other
So
villains
essentially,
go.
this is Kingdom Hearts, which oh my god, I take back Power Rangers.
You do
A
Kingdom
Kingdom
Hearts?
Hearts movie. Yes.
This
But
is the
continue.
old costume.
Continue.
I think that's the movie one. Not the new movie, but the movie he was talking about where they were like
shit.
armored and not spandex.
But it would also
No,
be cool.
Kind of. Though.
Don't know what I'm
Still
talking about.
animation,
Yeah.
not
See,
Pixar
Oh,
you-
or nothing
okay,
like
this
that.
is not
This
like
is
3D,
complete
this is
animated,
straight
yeah,
up-
like kind of like
Got it.
classic Disney style.
So not real life.
No, not real
Not
life, not
live
live action.
Got it.
No, completely animated.
Mm-hmm.
I would love for them to either have like a fun like Mean Girls type thing, like going.
You're
to school
blowing my
in-
mind right now. This is the best.
and it would either be like in current day, like in present day right now, how they would do, and
Right.
like if they would, they would wear outfits that are similar to their costumes that are in the movies, or I would want to go more traditional and have them all band together.
So you think like at first they start off sort of at odds together.
Yes.
And whatever the thing is, whatever the common goal or the big plot point is, like Maleficent's coming in and she's going to try to put everyone in the world to sleep or whatever. Then they have to put aside their differences and work together. And then there's one scene where they're like, damn it, we have to go underwater to get the big MacGuffin thing that's going to save her. And they have to go down. And you hear like, it's all about
Under the sea.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
That'd be that's actually a really, really solid idea. And I'm surprised Disney hasn't done that yet, like
I
more
know.
crossover stuff.
Disney, don't take my idea.
Well, they do.
Well,
They
you,
should
you've
hire
now
anybody.
now you've posted it, so now you get a cut when we go to lawsuit school about it.
That's how it works.
That's
Isn't
not-
it? Don't you go to law
that's
school
not
to
how
decide
it works.
those? No.
But that would be amazing, though. Like it's sort of like what they did with, I guess, Wreck-It
Expendables?
Ralph. No, I was gonna say more like Wreck-It Ralph, where they start taking. But that's not a good
Well,
example.
I mean, Kingdom Hearts literally did this with Disney characters.
yeah, but that's a game, not a movie.
I know.
Yeah, that would be an amazing movie too. Cool, Colin.
Oh, excuse me.
What do you think?
I would take your $200 million. I would pretend I was going to make a movie. And then I would instead make 5 more seasons of Jericho.
Oh yes.
Do they ever get out of the town? Do they ever get out of Jericho?
Yeah, I mean, they've been out.
They've been out. Why don't you catch up? It's on Netflix.
I don't like that show.
It's a three-way
I
three-way
never
civil
watched
war.
it.
I've
You
never
gotta
seen
watch it. It's great.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
I would bring
I
back
thought Colin was
Jericho.
full of shit for a long time until I watched it. When I moved in here, of course, because it was like on the lease that I signed. I had to watch Jericho, and it was amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Come on back and
Everybody's Jericho. Let's get out of Jericho. No, let's go back
Major
to Jericho.
Dad's in it. Does that make you want to watch it?
Major Dad?
Yeah. Remember Major Dad?
No.
He's the mayor.
You don't remember the show?
I keep thinking Major Payne, which was starring.
Major Pain was amazing.
That was an
Oh my
amazing film.
God.
I'm gonna make you guys.
What is it?
go to
Gerald?
Maine.
Gerald Mc.
I don't remember that guy's name, but yeah, it's Major Dad. Major Dad was a
You wa-
sitcom in the early 90s.
You
I
watch,
remember Major Dad. I just don't remember the guy in Major Dad.
You don't remember you remember the series, but you don't remember Major
I remember
Dad.
there being a show called Major Dad.
Okay.
I don't remember who was in it. You have to Google it for me.
He's married to Delta Burke. Does that ring any bells?
Yeah, I know.
Delta Burke is Designing Women.
He's
I
in
love that show.
he's in House of Cards.
Yeah, he's
Spacey.
he's the super rich guy, Elon, like the billionaire.
Yeah, with a D. Is that right? He's got a D in his name, maybe.
I gotta look this up. I don't know.
Gerald McRaney.
I'm just gonna type in Major Dad.
I did too. That's how I got
What
to
does
it.
he look like?
Looks
Oh
like that.
yeah. That guy's a badass.
Gerald McRaney.
Nick, what was that quote from Major Pain? It was like, "Shut up and suck it." And
Shut the fuck up about Major Payne. That's the quote.
it's a good quote.
Major Payne was amazing. I don't know, but I'm gonna look it up now.
Okay.
Was that the one where the kid's like, yeah, that was one where the kid's like, there's a monster in my closet, and he like blows like 5 holes, and he's like, if he's in there, he ain't happy. It was really good. Greg, $200 million.
I thought long and hard about this in the 4 seconds since you announced it. And of course, I'm a comic book fan.
Yeah.
So I immediately jump back to comic books.
Yeah.
And the problem is that it gets complicated real quick.
Yeah.
Because I want to say a Smallville movie. However, the Smallville comic book is going, and it's very good. Brian Q. Miller is doing a dynamite job. Everyone go read it. So I don't have to worry about that. Then I'm like, I've always thought that Superman Last Son, a storyline written by Jeff Johns and Richard Donner, who made the movie, of course, is an amazing storyline that could be made. But we just had the Superman movie, Man of Steel. It would confuse audience that General Zod is there, and he's not the same General Zod. And I would want my own Superman. I wouldn't want to use, what's his face, Cavill.
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking I want to do probably, arguably, the best comic book miniseries of all time, Kingdom Come. And I say make Kingdom Come. That way you can have an older Superman, different.
So you can take everyone out. You don't have to cast anyone. You cast whoever you want because it's totally
exactly. You're
sort of
separating it. Like that's. I mean, like somebody was talking about this the other day on Twitter, and I think I've said it a few times too. Of like, what an amazing time it is to be a nerd right now. The fact that like X-Men and Superman and Spider-Man and all these things are happening, but we still have that thing of like. When Man of Steel came out, there were still audiences that weren't sure that it wasn't connected to Superman's mythos. It's same thing now with Superman versus Batman Superman, right? People are still like, is it related to the Nolan films? It's like, no, it's its own thing, and that's hard to express to people. So like, in a perfect world, I want to get to the point where you just understand that it's not even a question, right? Because that's right now the thing with comics is there's so many different miniseries and storylines and this, that, and the other that you understand that none of it's fucking connected, right? Like this is what we always talk about with continuity being a problem when you're talking about like, what's Joker's backstory? It's like, well, it's a million different things. But for Kingdom Come, a standalone movie covering that entire spectrum, I think would be amazing, especially with all that money. Get some good names attached, get some good graphics in there. That's what they call that, right?
Yeah.
Do you think we'll ever get that?
Computer graphics. Yeah, I think we will.
You think like Kingdom Come? Like, do you think we'll get to a point where like we've done all of the like stories, we've done as many reboots as possible where someone's finally like, fuck it, we're gonna give people what they want?
Yeah, because I think that right now we're in an amazing era of movies where they are like, look what they're doing with Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
Where they've got the main 3 movies, but now they're doing one-off movies, and it's not inconceivable that if they find a series like a Justice League series that's going to be a hit, that they can't then take it back and go, hey, we're going to reimagine this for just one movie. It's super marketable. We're going to take 3 huge stars and cast them as Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, and that's going to be the Kingdom Come story, and we're just going to tell this thing. Like, same thing with, I think they could do the Dark Knight Returns as well.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Road.
Like, we're in this part right now where like nerds rule the earth, and we get to do it. We're finally doing all these movies, all this stuff. But the really crazy, fucking crazy, exciting thing would be in 10 or 15 years, like right now you could totally do Dark Knight Returns with Michael Keaton. Imagine if you did Dark Knight Returns with Michael Keaton, and you say it's not even connected to the Tim Burton movies, but we're giving you people would understand that, I think. But yeah, more conceivable is 15 years from now, Dark Knight Returns, Christian Bale, this, and if you did Kingdom Come now, right, you could theoretically get Linda Carter to be Wonder Woman and do all these different things.
But see, here's my thing: do we need when we get to the point where the general public, where Superman is such almost oversaturated, right? Superman, where we don't need to see him. His origin stories over and over and over again.
Well, do you think we'll reach a point?
I think we will, and here's why: because Superman, even the Man of Steel, made money. It wasn't the best movie ever made, but it made its money back, and it's still they're gonna make more. As they make more and more of those, my hope is that they'll do what they do with the Wolverine, which is one-off cool story that doesn't really need to be in canon, but can just be really fun and reimagined, and then we can eventually have multiple. Sort of like we're seeing with Quicksilver, right? Where we have 2 different Quicksilvers. Right. No one really cares. The guy, Evan Peters.
A lot of people care. A lot of people are confused as shit.
But Evan Peters was amazing, right? I could see a story of
that's
him
the problem
going
for the guy in the Avengers.
Well, Aaron Taylor Johnson's got Godzilla, so he'll be okay. I think.
Sure, I'm just saying. Wait, he was the guy from Godzilla.
He was the main character.
What's really weird is the main character Godzilla is him, and his wife
in the story. And
Godzilla
is Scarlet Witch.
Okay.
So the Olsen girl wasn't. They were in both. Apparently, someone was like, "We like these guys. Plug her my pick over here." But that's what I'm saying is like it's confusing, sure, a little bit, but it wouldn't be with Superman, right? Because that's Quicksilver, a guy that's like, who's Quicksilver?
Is Spider-Man. Like, why do we need a reboot of the trilogy telling the origin stories again? My fear is that every 10 years we're just going to reset and just keep doing it.
That's because new generations come in that don't know the whole story.
That's true.
Yeah, but I think we'll get away from that.
If you keep doing it over and over and over again, it's not inconceivable that you could take take Darren Aronofsky and be like, you're going to do The Dark Knight, right? He was the one that was supposed to originally do the Wolverine. It was supposed to be super dark, super gritty, and a hard R. And they were like, no, you can't do that. But if they're making all their money, then they can take that chance. Right?
Hard R Wolverine.
With
I hope we
amazing.
get to a point that we can get a hard R comic book movie.
Well, we will, but there has to be the foundation of 30 PG-13 movies out there, and then maybe they'll take that chance of going like, let's put this out, similar to what they're doing with comedies right now, right? Like 21 Jump Street. We're starting to see the return of the R comedy.
Oh, is it R this time? Or was
Yeah.
the last one R
I
too?
think the last one was R.
Oh.
Yeah.
I watched it last night. Not as good as some people say. it was.
21?
Yeah.
You didn't like it?
I liked it fine, but it was like, oh, that was
PG-13.
fine.
I have
But
to
it
look that
wasn't
up.
like
No, it's
amazing.
R.
But yeah, but it's got to be R, right? Because all the Seth Rogen films, all that stuff, like Knocked Up, all those things are R,
Right.
and that's fantastic. And so eventually we'll hopefully have that saturation point where people will be like, okay, we can make money off of the hard R comic book movie because people will go see it. Because people are going to realize eventually that the majority of people seeing these movies are probably kids and
And they're gonna
35
grow
And,
year olds.
up.
Yeah,
older
yeah.
people that
Yeah,
have grown up
you know.
around it, yeah.
But I think that would be amazing. So your
Kingdom
answer
Come
is
is what
Kingdom
I'm
Come.
doing.
I would have thought you would have said Invincible.
I've thought about it too, but that like the problem is that Invincible, and I know we're not there, would be a much better TV series.
Yeah, it would be.
You know what I mean? Because there's so much in that first story that you're gonna bore the audience. I feel like if you try to shove that all into 2 hours,
Yeah.
right? Like because it would literally be
Well, I think you would do
the
like,
first 10 minutes he gets powers, 15 to 20 later, a whole bunch of shit happens, and then we're into this like, and it's like
No,
that
but
kind
see,
of that
that's-
sucks.
That's
That'd be too
awesome.
quick, yeah.
Exactly. It's
But that's the thing you could do. You could do it could be like 7 movies, and I would watch Invincible.
Sure, but I mean, like that's the whole problem is if the first movie's cliffhanger has to be the son we have to talk when he turns
Yeah.
around. You know what I mean? And like that,
No,
I feel like
that
that
needs to be the midpoint, and then it needs to build up. To
okay, you're better at movies than me.
It would be really, really good. That's it. Well, actually, as a side note, I just thought of a great movie for Colin. So if you wanted to take just 100 million of that and go do the Bane story,
Whoa.
I think that you would be the perfect person to helm that
There's a
project.
lot of questions about Bane, isn't there?
I mean,
a lot of unanswered
I don't know
questions
anything about Bane.
Why is he so fucking stupid?
Why does he dominate so much? For instance, why is he so great? We got Scarecrow in there too.
Why is every
Nolan
time-
Scarecrow.
Nolan Scarecrow.
Well, like we said on the last episode of this show, we'll Nolanize Mr. Freeze. We'll Nolanize
That would
the
be
Riddler,
awesome.
And we'll get we'll see the visions of these interesting enemies as well.
Quick aside here.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? And I know you don't care about superheroes, but you like what they did with Nolan.
I love Batman. That's it.
So how do you feel about the Gotham TV series? Are you at all interested?
It's cool that I saw a commercial for it. And it's cool that there's like young Poison Ivy and
Yeah.
young Riddler in it or whatever. And I still don't. I still think that like the superhero shit's getting out of control. The shit's about to rubber band hard in the next couple of years.
That's what they've been
And
saying forever. Just like zombies.
They haven't been saying that forever because Greg, we've already went over the zombies thing. Zombies are no one wants that shit anymore unless you're gonna do it cleverly.
Everyone wants it.
That's
still.
not true.
Walking Dead is still huge.
Unless you're gonna do it cleverly. Walking Dead is critically getting worse from what I've been reading.
No,
That
it
people are-
rebounded this season. After the mid-season break, it got awesome.
But I mean, I stopped watching because it's fucking stupid. But the thing with these particular superhero movies is that eventually there's a saturation point, and so a lot of these movies are still bad from what I understand. So like eventually the market's gonna rebound and say we don't want this shit anymore. Just like we don't want reboots and we want new ideas. To say like people have wanted this forever is silly because there haven't been the influx of superhero movies started 5 years ago. We had like
X-Men hitting like 2000.
But Greg, there wasn't DC and Marvel weren't firing on all cylinders, releasing fucking movies that set up new movies, that set up a trilogy,
Right.
that set up. That
Well, I
wasn't
mean,
happening.
X-Men did, and Spider-Man did. Like, now where it's definitely the next level. But, like, in 2000, the Spider-Man trilogy, X-Men trilogy, those did have universes.
But those are Marvel movies, and
Yeah.
and so it didn't even interest DC.
Well, I mean, we're hit-
and we had like the third party kind of shit going on with Spawn in the 90s and stuff. But like
Spawn was amazing.
But like Batman was the shit. When it came back in line ish.
That's all it was.
And that was it.
Yeah,
and
that's
that
it.
was cool, and that made you like, even though those movies sucked after the second one, like you were waiting and anticipating
100%.
these. Now it's like every other thing is like, what's going to be at the ending? That's
So,
going to
yeah.
tease this new shitty character in this new shitty movie that
And
we have to go see.
I'm sort of with Colin on this, right? Where I do believe that we are quickly approaching a saturation point, and that point is going to probably tip over when we hit Star Wars. Star Wars is going to be the final drop in the bucket that just collapses.
so
everything.
what does that mean? That
It
after
just
Star
means-
Wars, everything has a lower opening and it's just going to taper off?
Potentially, and there might be just I don't know. I
When-
think because they're going to do a Star Wars movie every year. It's just going to be
Right.
I mean, it's crazy. Like, the last couple weeks, I've seen a movie every single week.
That's big.
And that's insane. Like, I don't remember a summer like this for a long time.
No.
And I don't see that stopping. And I think Star Wars is just going to add to that because there's going
Yeah.
to be comic book movies, Star Wars, and Maleficent sequels. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
Batman
so-
v Superman opens on Captain America 3's day, right? Isn't that the deal?
It's like
I'm
it's
seeing
so,
Batman v
it's
Superman.
so
Yeah, me too.
It's just so stupid. Like, why won't, like, we have this awesome nerdy high fantasy or science fiction like that is of a high quality, right? Like something like Game of Thrones or the Nolan Batman movies, which are way better than any other superhero movies I've ever seen. You know, like, why wouldn't we just want to be more patient and the studios be more patient and be like, let's make good stuff.
Well,
you know,
but
as
they
opposed
are
to like,
making good
as opposed
stuff.
to, but like a lot of this stuff from what I mean, I won't see any of these movies anymore because I don't give a fuck. But like, especially the Marvel stuff, I don't care. But like, you know, I from what I'm understanding is that people are like, this isn't that good. Like some of these are good. Like Avengers was good.
Yeah.
But like a lot of people are like, you know, and I think that Captain America was probably pretty good too.
Yeah.
But I think that like there's like some shit in there too. I'm telling you, once the saturation point hits, it's gonna be too late because a lot of these games or a lot of these movies are gonna be in production already.
Yeah.
And these
Well,
studios
and
are
we'll
gonna
see
fucking
that.
take a hit, man.
Oh, they would, and that's what
Yeah,
always
like-
happens, right? That always happens. There's
And
studios
then it's
movies
over.
are cyclical, right? You find out one studio's doing a western, all of a sudden every studio's got to do a western, right? Because it kind of builds into that thing. It's just kind of, there is a chaos factor in what we're dealing with right now because every week in order to have the highs, we have to have the lows. Right now, there's no lows, so everything's starting to be like, how do you discern between what's better? Arguably, they make X-Men. I think X-Men's probably one of the best comic book movies to ever come out. I think the last one was. Greg's disappointed, but he hasn't seen it because it doesn't come to his TV, right into his TV.
No, I went and saw it, and that's what broke me on the movies.
That was it. That was it. But that's the problem, right? Is if we had an X-Men and then nothing else for 6 months, it would probably be better just by virtue of it being
I think
the
that
only
you're
one
getting
that's
more
there.
and more mixed opinions because there's more to judge it against.
Well, there's more
It used to be
competition.
so easy to be like Superman the movie is the best, or Superman 2 is the best superhero
Still
movie,
is.
and then all this other stuff starts tumbling out, and you have all these questions. And so like this is what it comes down to for me with you, Moriarty, is that you need to shut up. You know what I mean? You don't enjoy the material in general, and you're not seeing the movies, so I don't feel like I don't think you have an idea of when the bottom's going to drop out.
But I've seen a lot of them.
You have, but I mean, you're talking about right now that like people are pissed about, or not pissed, but they're not happy with the current crop, right? And it's like, well, yeah, Thor and Captain America do not live up to the Avengers, but they're still enjoyable movies. And I mean, this is again, even though it's not my universe, right? Like I'm not a Marvel guy. This is what I've wanted forever is a structure that can support that. To say we're gonna put out these giant movies. I mean, how fucking crazy would it have been to talk to little Greg Miller 2 decades ago and talk like there's gonna be a Justice League movie and that you're gonna have movies on top of that about everyone. I'd be like, go fuck yourself, no way. And I would have taken a drag off my cigarette. They'd be like, you're 11 years old, don't smoke.
And then I would have like this,
Oh, gosh.
stay away from chicken wings. And you would thank me
But no, I
20
will
years
agree
later.
with Colin in the fact that I think the whole zombie idea and that those movies are kind of a little bit oversaturated now. And I think the audiences are kind of getting a little, they've been around for a while. And, how many more zombie movies can you make that are that different?
I mean, I just watched Warm Bodies. Have you guys seen this
I
movie?
saw Warm
I haven't
Bodies.
seen it. I wanted to.
I liked it.
I saw it again last night. It's cute. It's a
Yeah.
fun take on the zombie film. So I think I'm in support of anyone that can bring another dimension or another
Right.
sort of
Right,
angle
that's
to the
what I
zombie
mean.
films, or do it really, really, really well, like Dawn of the Dead. The Dawn of the Dead remake, which I thought was freaking awesome.
If in
See, that's-
5, and this is a good point. If I don't, I'm sorry, I'll let you talk in 1 second, but otherwise, fuck off.
Yes.
The zombie movie is a genre that's easier to burn out on, and I think that's why you're not seeing movies. I think Walking Dead, love it or hate it, is doing it well on TV and comics, so you let that go, right? Because in a movie, you can't reset every time. This is what we're talking about. So to apply that to comics, if in 5-10 years we're rebooting Spider-Man again, and we have to fucking see him get bit by the radioactive spider, then yes, that's when there'll be a whole
This already
go
happened
fuck
twice,
yourself.
though, in the decade. Like,
But
this
it hasn't stopped.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, there's just a intellectual and creative just deficit in Hollywood, and this is
100%
when, and this
that's
is like
true.
one of this is one of the reasons why I just don't give a shit about movies, and I don't go to movies and don't watch them. I just don't care.
Yeah.
Like all of the creativity is on TV and or
That's
in
true.
books, and like. When I tweeted about it the other day, like they're rebooting Cliffhanger. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, why would you like? This is what it's gotten to now. Like, okay,
'Cause
Total
here's
Recall I
the
can
deal.
understand, or going back and rebooting Terminator, that's cool.
Sure.
Like doing all that kind of stuff, but like now we are so devoid of ideas that all it is like tired ass romantic comedies and reboots of fucking marginal movies from the 80s and 90s and fucking endless amounts of superhero movies, and it's like enough, dude. Like,
But
where
see,
are the fucking new
but
ideas?
See, the other thing is like the only reason why I really, really appreciate the superhero movies is because they all make money, and when the studios make money, they are more likely to allow a few experiments to happen, right? Like you'll get a few. Let's take a chance on this. When you've got Harry Potter coming out, you can fund like 2 or 3 more films because Harry Potter is going to be a big deal.
Depends on what you do with the money. That's not always true. I mean, we talk about that in gaming. You have the Activision model and you have the Ubisoft model. And the Activision model says like a game
Annualize.
that you annualize things and you make money, and we make the money to keep the money, and there's no room for experiments. And this Ubisoft model says we have some big shit and we make things like Child of Light because we're allowed to. We make money. I don't see the studios taking a lot of huge risks with some of the movies they're making up based on the I'm not reading fucking Variety every day or whatever. But like I'm just saying like,
he's out on the porch with that green visor, just like reading.
But I'm saying like the commercials and the trailers I see, like they're all just tired rehashes of the same ideas, you know. And
I think Days of Future Past was a great example of like continuing without rebooting. And granted, they did reboot a bit, so they have more room now to fuck around with the next X-Men.
But that's a different type of reboot.
Exactly.
I'm talking about the like.
I'm totally
this
with
is
you.
Completely different.
Yeah. And like here's the thing I think is interesting too to talk about, right? You're talking about like where are the new ideas. When's the last time you went out and saw an original IP movie, an independent movie, something like that?
I don't know. Nothing has intrigued me enough to go to a theater.
I think that's the problem. Is like it's hard getting those asses in the seats to go see her. Like I wanted to see her, right? And I never got around to it, so I watched on the plane, which doesn't count.
I mean, I'm totally just a big blockbuster movie type of guy. I don't really
like the video store with VHS.
Exactly, huge fan.
Love blockbuster.
But like, I'm not
They
going
had
to go
the
watch
king-size
something I don't know
receipt
about. Like, I only am going to watch comic book movies or Disney movies or stuff that I'm like, I know I'm going to like. This. But then a perfect example is Inception, where like because
that was
probably the last one. Yeah,
I was just like,
it was original.
I would have never seen Inception besides the fact that I'm like, Nolan made this. I trust him from Dark Knight.
And you love Ellen Page. Oh, I love this heterosexual Ellen Page.
Yeah, huge
we didn't
fan.
know back then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was a fantastic movie.
Yeah,
Nolan, you know, great. Just
got that JGL in it too.
And I like the whole thing. They didn't think that movie was going to do well, and to get it made, they all took points right after, like on the back end of the movie. Like they actually didn't get paid up front.
Probably.
As far as I understand, and then they ended up making like a shit ton of money. Instead of taking like I'll do the movie for $10 million, like I'll take 5% of the ticket sales.
I'm glad to see Leonardo finally get some money.
Yeah,
because they believed in it. But
he needs it so bad.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Leo was on. Yeah, he was dying. He was really just like, I got nothing, guys.
These growing pains chicks
Well,
aren't catching no more.
Basketball Diaries.
Did y'all see
be
Texas
damned.
Buyers Club?
Dallas
I haven't
Buyers
seen
Club
it.
was really good.
But that's the whole
pretty
thing.
good.
Again, like that's a movie I've heard great things about. I just haven't gotten off my foot.
Well, I mean,
fat
they're
ass.
first of all, they're making plenty of amazing movies. Like Dallas Buyers Club is a perfect example of like, it's a powerful film, and it's not powerful for the sake of like being preachy. It is just really, really, really filmmaking at its best. That's filmmaking at its best.
Really
that's not a
good.
movie. All right, let's separate the difference between X-Men: Days of Future Past is a blockbuster popcorn movie. You go see it. Dallas Buyers Club is something that really makes you think about how you react and how you deal with things in life and how to be a better person, or what you would do in that situation. In which case, I'd probably crumble. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think you guys just don't see as many movies as I do. There's still plenty of phenomenal films being made.
I'm sure there is, but I wouldn't say that there's no filmmakers out there or studios making good movies.
Right.
I'm not going to pay $15 to see a movie anymore, so that's gone, especially with a fucking high utility cost of just getting TV in here, and I'd rather watch that stuff. But, you know, it's like we talked about in the last episode. Like the good storytelling is not in movies.
It is all TV.
And,
it's true.
And
Everything
I want we're so spoiled now because whether it's Downton Abbey or whether it's Mad Men or
True
whether
Detective.
it's like True Detective or
and
fucking
you're
Game of
also-
Thrones, these are real meaty. You like wait years,
and
to
that's
see
why
the end of it,
that's
and I like that kind of thing.
That's exciting for me too. Is like being able to see that because the actual physical capturing of it, the production of it is not very different now. Like from a movie to TV, right? The dollars are starting to come to TV because a lot more people are switching over there, and the advent of digital photography and digital motion picture capture has really sort of even the playing field. You can get the same look on a 20, like the True Detective was filmed on a camera called the Alexa, as was all the Avengers movies, all the Marvel movies. Everything's filmed on the same camera, so you're getting a cinematic experience. You're starting to bring in the DPs and things like that.
That's what we filmed this show on, right?
Absolutely, this is absolutely a $85,000 body alone camera. But and it's starting to work. It's starting to attract major celebrities and really big talent, and that's freaking awesome, right? Game of Thrones, things like that, House
Breaking
of Cards,
Bad.
and True Detective was really the first thing in my mind that was like, holy crap, we are on the precipice of an awesome era of TV.
Because they get it. I think it's in the same way what Colin's talking about, what I've talked about before with TV, right? Is the fact that when it all comes down to it, they're actors and performers, and they want to go tell an awesome story.
And they want to
you
tell that story
understand
with the audiences.
Like, you look at McConaughey, right, and all the shitty fucking goddamn movies he's been in that are just terrible.
Ghosts of Girlfriends Past. I watched that one the other day.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
Sahara, like all these horrible movies that are like, you know.
Sahara
What's
was
the one?
not
What's the one I'm
horrible.
thinking of?
Fool's
with
Gold?
Goldie Hawn's daughter.
Fool's Gold?
No,
Fool's
that
Gold?
was Fool's
That was
Gold
they
also.
did. They
I
kept
actually
making
watched
them.
that the other day, which
That
was
was on
horrible.
TV. I watched
And
too.
good for
You
him
did,
getting
yeah.
paid, but it's nice to also see him be like, I don't want to just get paid. I want to do good shit.
And he talked about that too. He talked about when he did Dallas Buyers Club. It was a very distinct like decision. He's like, I don't want to do How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, which was the one you were talking about.
Yeah,
that
I gave
one
you
too.
credit.
Okay.
I gave you credit.
Smash. But yeah, you know, they realize that the audiences are on TV, and you know, hopefully one day all going online. Should all cross our fingers on that one.
Come join us,
'Cause I'd
McConaughey.
love for McConaughey. I'd love to recast Tim as McConaughey.
Yeah.
Just take Tim out of it and have him
And the
McConaughey
pure
play
one,
Tim.
Matthew
All right,
McConaughey.
all
All
All right.
You can play the character he played in True Detective. It'd be awesome. Just
That'd be awesome.
make
He's
like
just-
cut up his.
I was
beer
gonna say
cans.
he's cutting up beer cans while I talk. So
Staring into that little weird freaking mirror that he had. You remember that? Where he's just like, I can only see my eye. What a weird thing.
it's so cool.
So sorry to wrap this up because this one I think is going long.
Yeah, but it's been good.
It has been really good. And thank you for the question, GS84.
GS84.
IG88. It's the one. I apologize. It's the one time I did not write his name down. Usually I just say the person's name. But thanks for the question. If I could remake a movie, if I had that money,
Oh God, you haven't gone yet?
I haven't gone yet. I'll just go very quickly. There's a movie franchise that I loved when I was a kid, and it's a franchise I love. Very similar to the reason why you're talking is because it has the ability to bring every character together potentially in one movie. Any of the characters you've ever loved, especially characters in racing.
Oh damn it!
Into
I was
one
really
movie.
hoping you were gonna say Monster Squad because that would be a great.
No,
reboot,
Monster
too.
Squad is freaking amazing as well. But no, there's a little series that I think they made about 3 movies out of called The Cannonball Run. And The Cannonball Run. The Cannonball Run was so amazing
Wait,
because
explain. I have no idea what this is.
What?
Okay.
Don
I also have no idea.
DeLuise.
I guess we're too.
Burt
The Cannonball
Reynolds. Sally Fields. I ask you, is there a better cast on this planet?
All right, you win. You win.
So the Cannonball Run is a very simple concept. The Cannonball Run is a race that goes cross country, and it's an illegal race, and whoever wins it gets a cash prize.
So it's like Rat Race.
It's very much like Rat Race, but
Please do not compare it to Rat Race.
but what they did with this movie was
Amazing
they
Race.
cast every big celebrity they could find to do cameos, and it's like Dean Martin's in this, Sammy Davis Jr., Farrah Fawcett's in it. Dom
So it
DeLuise.
is like Rat Race.
I think I can't remember which one. Came
John
first.
Lovitz is no Dean Martin, sir.
I think it was very similar to the ideas, but back in the day, it was about the movie's vibe has. It wasn't about the race. It was about the party that was happening during the race, right? So they would all stop and like party, and then they'd see someone run. Like, oh shit, Jackie Chan's in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's
That
old
sounds
school.
awesome.
Jackie
But-
Chan's in it? I don't remember that.
Yeah, he was the Japanese. They were the Japanese team, even though Jackie Chan is
Racist.
Chinese, which is super racist. But he was like, "We'll be the
He didn't
Japanese
give a
team."
fuck. You just want to get
The
paid.
Asian-
And
team.
they had a badass like car that was like stealth. So like, and then there was a car that was like the Lamborghini, which is 2 smoking hot girls. And every time they got pulled over, and you get pulled over, you get like arrested. So that was part of the fun. Was everyone knew this race was happening, so the cops were on the lookout, and you had to figure out how to get to
sounds
like Atlantic
awesome.
City.
We're watching it after this.
You went from like Atlantic. I think it was from like Jersey or Atlantic City to California. I can't remember where the route
I thought it was the other way around. I thought you
Oh, it
went
might
from
have been the other way.
California
I think
to
it was
Jersey.
West Coast to East Coast,
Okay.
and it ended. And then
You wanted the
ended-
wind. You wanted the wind at your back.
You wanted the wind at your back, and but it was awesome because Don DeLuise and Burt Reynolds were the main characters, right? Their car was the main thing, and they decided to do an ambulance because who the hell's going to stop an ambulance, right? It's genius. If you're going cross country, and their big nemesis, the guys they were really racing against, was Sammy Davis Jr. and Dean Martin, who were priests in a Ferrari.
Oh my god.
Like, who's gonna pull over if you pull over a Ferrari and all of a sudden there's priests in there? You're gonna
So
oh,
good.
father, you
I
can
haven't
go.
seen that shit in a long time.
It's so good.
It is.
But the brilliance of this was like every scene had like one of them was Roger Moore was a character, and he was only in it for like 5 minutes. But every time they cut back to him, he was playing Bond.
Yeah.
He just didn't say it was Bond. He was playing Roger
Yeah.
Moore, and there was
Oh,
a new
that's so
girl.
cool.
There was a new girl in the car with him. Right? So, and every time she got pissed off, he like ejected her, right? Because it was kind of silly. And then in the
If
middle of the
only
movie,
every guy could have that.
like an hour into the movie, the train goes by, and all the cannonballers, as they call them, like converge upon this town, and
Yeah.
and they get in a huge fight with bikers, and they band together to beat the shit out of these bikers, and then it's everyone for themselves to go on.
It's
It's
eerily
amazing.
similar to Rat Race.
I'm sure that
Rat Race
one-
is probably just like the shitty.
I'm sure that
I was
one
gonna
stole
say
from the
yes.
other.
Rat Race ripped them off.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Rat Race is similar to this. This is
Rat
not
Race
similar
is
to Rat
amazing.
Race.
So if I were to do it, I would cast every star that wanted to be a part of it, and you make it a big cultural
Get that Jessica
thing.
Biel
You-
in there?
You get Jessica Biel. You get the Justin Timberlake. You try to get Dom as Dom from Fast and Furious to be
Oh
one
my
of the
God.
characters.
Yeah.
It would just be the most amazing thing.
Can
So
Smash
many-
Mouth
so much
All-Star?
And by the way, at the
Be
end of
the
the
credits.
movie, no matter who wins, like they literally have a race where like someone wins and you're like, oh no, whatever, that person won, that's awesome, and then they don't give a shit anymore. They just party.
Yeah.
It's just about the party. It's such an amazing.
We should
film.
just do this. We should do that and film it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just with us, I mean.
You're
And not a
okay.
movie. We just race across the country.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
From here.
in my Honda.
From here to Glen Ellen to Long Island.
To the eastern tip of Montauk, Long Island.
That would be amazing. But yeah, that's one of those I've always wanted to see a remake of that because it's
That's
such
an
a,
awesome
it's
idea.
such a fun film that you could just plug. I mean,
That's a
you
great
just
idea.
put it out
Not
there
the
and every celebrity
shitbag
will, like,
rat
watch
There
it.
was a remake.
No.
It was amazing.
It is not
A
the
Rat
same.
Race.
Whoopi
so
Goldberg was in
amazing.
Rat Race.
No,
Yeah,
I think
Mr.
that-
Bean,
Yeah.
No, but see, Rat
Dean
Race.
Cain, Amy
Rat
Smart.
Race.
Yeah.
Rat Race, I think, was a remake of Rat Race. I think there was a Rat Race in the early '80s. Either that or it's
Okay,
Mad,
so
Mad,
there's
Mad,
an
Mad
original
World.
Rat Race. The Cannonball Run was a reboot.
No,
of it.
Cannonball Run was before original
Cannonball
Rat
Run
Race.
was late '70s. We
Yeah.
gotta look this up. But I think there was a movie.
Now I wanna look
There's
it
a
up.
lot. There was a lot of movies like that. There was like It's a Mad, 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 Mad World, which was like about a race around the world, and you had to like.
Oh, yeah.
There was all
Oh, the
these
Alvin
sorts
and the
of-
Chipmunk movie.
That's
They did that too.
very similar. I guess I haven't seen that one.
They raced the female chipmunks.
There you go.
Chipettes.
So anyway,
Chipettes,
that's
yeah.
that's the movie I would remake. That one and potentially.
That's a great fucking choice.